All right. What's going on, everybody? Good evening to everyone. Welcome to the Mind of Loughridge. Just want to get into a conversation with you this evening. Y'all know I'm later than late, but however, I'm just going to still get into a conversation with you all, and I'm just going to talk about some things. And as I talk about some things, since I'm late, I'm going to do my best, in the words of the great T.I., to speak expeditiously as I go into this conversation that I want to have with everyone on tonight. All right. So, hope all is well. If not, I hope all will be well. And, I just want to get into this conversation on Can We Talk? So I'm going to give it a few moments, just a few moments. Um, it's a few moments. I'm going to probably try to talk a little bit in between now and probably start at about 3 minutes into it. 3 minutes into it. A little bit behind on Instagram, but anywho, I'm going to try to get into this conversation with everybody, and I'm going to do my best um, to get into the conversation. All right, so I hope everybody's weekend was pretty good. I hope your weekend was pretty decent. Um, to the best of your ability, I hope you enjoyed yourself thoroughly. I'm excited about many things, excited about um, people who are stepping into a new phase of life, marriage wise, school wise, just different journeys that a lot of people are experiencing and going through at this present moment. Um, there's a person that's heavy on, there's a big family that's heavy on my heart right now, which is the Allen family, specifically James Allen, his wife, the family. And, when y'all hear this name, DeAndre Allen in particular, because I don't want nobody thinking I'm talking about my son, DeAndre, but I want you all, I don't know, because I haven't went back to look on Facebook. I know a few moments ago that DeAndre, according to his daddy, is still in the land of the living. I believe the young man is 15 years old, dealing with cancer in his body. It's also a very hard time. It's a hard time for the Allens. Hard time for the Allens for many reasons because of the month of December and what that month really, really, really means for them as it relates to their dad and all that went through, all that they've experienced and have gone through with that. And here it is. It was their dad, and now the nephew. Um, you know, and so just hope everything just works out for their good in these moments. In these moments, I don't try to, I won't tell any family anything, unless like the Lord said type stuff, unless He really said. Because as I said, where I preached that yesterday, I referenced the Lord, and I don't ever want to say something that He never said. I don't want to speak something out of my mouth that He has not articulated, He has not supported at all. I don't want to think about it. When you come to these moments and times in life, you got to be very mindful of what you say. You can't pull on the emotional string of people. All of that. You just got to be very sensitive. Y'all feel me? You got to be very sensitive to things. But so that's not what I'm talking about. But that's just on my heart to say. And very close to the Allen family, very close to Demetrius Allen. But I do have a nice, tight relationship with the Allen family as a whole. All right. So, let's just keep that family, in prayer, specifically James's wife and just that whole family with all that they're dealing with. It's a rough season. And, you know, um, I'm going to use this not as a comparison. Um, you know, uh, I remember when my son, Andre, around 2 years of age, went through an appendix situation, and at that age, he had to have surgery. One of the things that people don't really take into consideration is, we are a group of people who, hey, we are a group of people, men in particular, we like to protect, and then we like to, fix things. And if we're not able to fix things, it kind of makes us feel some type of way. And when you see your child in a way that you cannot take their pain away, you cannot um, you cannot take their pain away. You can't make them feel better. You can't heal them. You can't do any of these things. And you're just stuck between this rock and a hard place. It's a difficult place to be. It's a very difficult place to be. It's hard when you really, 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 hey, what's going on, Kylan? You really, really, really want to, um, hope you're doing well, Destiny. You really want to be, um, supportive, and you really want to be, there, and it's difficult, and then then James going through, James Allen going through what he's going through in his physical body, and you do that father thing, you do the father thing. You know what I'm saying? We can be deep in spiritual and be like, well, God didn't die, his son died, he didn't die. But you see what I'm saying? It's a different perspective, a different angle. And you be like, man, it's my kid should be watching me get ready to transition if that's the case. My kids should be burying me if that's the situation. You feel what I'm saying? My kids should be burying me. My kids should be saying, Daddy, I don't want you to go, not vice versa. But this is how life happens. And um, it's something to really deal with. Now, that's not what I want to talk about tonight, but I just want to say that because that family is heavy on my heart. And yeah, it's difficult, to let go. So what I want to talk about tonight is this right here. And that is, the question is not, did I fail, but did I learn? I was listening to Bishop Jerry Wayne Macklin earlier, and what got me to watching it is because my sis Vanessa Grundy, my God, she wore glad tidings out to no end, singing "Thank You, Lord." Ooh, Lord have mercy. That girl did that thing. Vanessa Grundy, child, you tore that song up to no end. And so I went and watched it. I like Bishop Jerry Macklin. I actually thought my boy Pastor Christopher Grundy was preaching, and but Vanessa wore that thing out to no end. And so Bishop, and there's something else Bishop Macklin said when he was preaching that stuck out to me. But this stuck out to me. One of the things, I'm gonna probably talk about other thing tomorrow. The Lord said the same. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna do that because I heard Pastor Jamal Bryant is in town, so I want to go hear him live. The question is not, did I fail, but did I learn? The question is not, did I fail, but did I learn? And I think that stuck out to me because a lot of times we're going through different experiences and things, and sometimes when we have screwed up, we've messed up, we've made error, we've transgressed, we've broke the law, we've been incarcerated. The question is not, did I fail, but did I learn? And yes, Kylan, he's in town. I'll give you the information when I get off. So, the thing for me is, sometimes we look at situations in life and, we soak in the mistakes. We soak in the mishaps. We soak in our mismanagement. We soak in our scandal that we've been a part of. We soak in these things. And one of the things I think is very important for us to understand is, yes, you messed up. Yes, you screwed up. But what did you learn out of that? What did you learn from that experience outside of, I went to jail? outside of I have had an addiction to alcohol. I have addiction to food. I have an addiction to, any form of drugs, illegal drugs or over-the-counter drugs. The question is, but what did I learn? What did I learn? From this moment of my life, what did I learn? That's it, Kika. If I focus on my failures, if I focus on what I should, what I didn't do, what I should have done, what did I gain from this? What's the growth from this? What can I learn from this situation? I think, it's just me personally, I think real talk, if you are an individual, you need to learn, in this relationship, like, okay, you didn't been married 3 or 4 times. It failed. What are you learning from that experience that every time you get married within a certain span of time, what's going on? Let's move away from the Lord said stuff. Let's just deal with the practicality of this. What is happening? What am I learning from this? What did I gain from this? Okay, yes, you had a failed marriage. Yes, you had a second failed marriage. Yes, you had a third failed marriage. What did you learn from it? Was I the cause of it? Of my marriage dissolving? Was the other person dissolving? The cause of the dissolving of the marriage. What did I learn from this? What did I learn about hanging around certain environments, certain people? What did I learn from this? What did I learn from this? What did I learn as a parent, of not being consistent in about certain things? Okay, because at some point, that was one of the issues I had back in the day, when I would watch the reality show with Keisha Cole. And I was feeling Frankie. Like, Frankie's like, okay, yeah, I've come from a drug addicted past. Yes, I was drug addict, all of that. Yes, you wasn't there, like for Keisha Cole, maybe like you with them for Nefertiti and all of them, you wasn't there. But at what point, what did I learn from this? What am I learning from this? That, I I have a daughter, and I have daughters, and one of them, went through an experience where they had to try to adjust to the fact that, their parent was not there. Here it is, because they felt within themselves that they were selecting, if you will, the drug over them. And so it was very difficult to try to embrace them in a motherly fashion. But it's like, what did you learn from that? Like, yes, you learn that sometimes people get caught up. We don't know why people get caught up in, well, we don't always know why people get caught up in drug addiction, why they get caught up in alcoholism. We don't always know. When we come to the knowledge of it, you're a kid, you're a child. You don't see that the drug did it. You don't see that they was an alcoholic. You don't see, the mental health issues. You're not seeing chemical imbalance. You're not seeing the whole situation. You're not paying attention to that. And so what happens is you now begin to have a moment in your life where you're like, oh my God, she abandoned me. He abandoned me. She left me for drugs. She left me for this. Can I rock the boat a little bit on Can We Talk? She chose him over me. When I say him, her boyfriend. All right. She chose him, or, he chose her over me. There are people I've had conversations with where the father is not fathering his biological children, but he's a superb father. And then some others I talked to too, superb father or mother. Watch this, to the stepchildren, if you will, or the bonus children, but not to the biological. And then, and there are situations where things are, there's different dynamics, to every situation. There are situations where that biological parent was really trying to be in their biological children's line, but the daddy or the mom, you know what I'm saying, did some stuff that was just, wrong. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to fix the situation, but sometimes they're not allowed to. Now, I've told fathers down through the years, I've told some mothers down through the years, I don't care what the Bible, if you really want to be in that child's life, you will fight for that child. Then you got those who are, they come from, gang banging past, and they have issues. One of my godsons, he's passed, but that was one of his issues. I ain't dealing with the law. I don't deal with the police. Well, fool, you're gonna have to deal with the police, with a lawyer or a judge. I mean, so you didn't want to deal. You don't want to deal with a judge that can help you deal with your child. But one of these judges is going to be the same one that try your case and sentence you to prison. Now they sentence you to prison. Why not go back to the same judge or the same system, if you will, and allow them to take care of you? Like, what did you learn from that? You went to jail because of the decisions you made. Now you have an opportunity to be in your child's life. Now you have an opportunity to be active in your child's life. But no, you want to say, well, I'm not doing it because the system didn't work for me. The system didn't work for you because you was a crook. The system didn't work for you because you wanted to live a thuggish life. That you made that decision. You didn't have to be a thug. You didn't have to be a gangbanger. You didn't have to be many of those things. I don't care how people threaten you, how people say. Listen, people should try to tell me you about to be from this, and this. You're not telling me what Dwayne Andre Loughridge is about to be. You're not telling me that. I have my life threatened. I've been told if you don't do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Whatever. Hey. Even before I sincerely gave my life over to Christ, you're not going to scare me. Fear not them that are able to destroy the body, but not the soul, but fear him who was able to destroy both body and soul in hell. You're not about to scare me into trying to be a crip. You're not going to try to scare me and thinking if I don't become a blood, you're going to shed my blood. It ain't happen that way, because you don't have the power or authority to dictate what I'm going to do with my life, how I run my life, how I govern my life, and what I do with my life. You don't have that power. And I'm not going to give you that type of power. And so I'm saying all that to say that when you've messed up and you've screwed up and you've made some of the wrong decisions in your life, I get it. Sometimes the system, and that's something, if I could help out, that's something I really want to do. I hate the fact, this is me personally, I hate the fact, that I get it. You did your wrongdoing, all of that. You served your time. You paid your dues, all of that. Then certain things ought to be restored back to you as far as voting privileges, right? As far as voting privileges. Now, I'm a man of faith. I believe in Christ. I believe in forgiveness. I believe in all of that. But, you molested children, you're a pedophile, you're a registered child offender. I doubt very seriously that you will be able to be in the company of children. God is a forgiving God. And I'm a forgiving person. But at the same time, I doubt if I would feel comfortable with you being in an environment full of children when you have a fetish or an attraction to children. And I get it. That's something you just can't help. But what if, and I get it. Now I'm not going to restrict you, that's just me. I think from a church perspective, and certain things, I think if you are a child of sex offender, you're registered, you need to let that be known. I think the pastors or whatnot need to let it be known that, hey, this person is a registered child offender. Let it be known, because you're going to be around other kids, Now, unlike one of my cousins who's a police officer, or was before he retired, he was about, he said, I know you believe God can change anybody. So I ain't never seen nobody change a pedophile. Once a pedophile, his mindset was always one. Was a child offender, sex offender, always one, and he said, I've never seen nobody be redeemed from that. And I get what he's saying. I understand the whole concept of that. My point being is, what did you learn from that experience? What did you learn from that experience? That you can't allow your passions to overtake you. You can't allow your passions to overtake you to the point, yes, so you may not be able to work with children, but you can use your experience and tell people when you got these feelings and emotions and stuff going on the side of your head, and you got these strange fetishes that are existed in you, and you try to deal with it, go get some help, go talk to somebody so that they can help you maneuver or manage these feelings and these emotions. But some people, it's a fetish for children. For somebody else, it's a klepto. They got this issue with stealing. What did you learn from these experiences? That's what it is. You committed adultery in the relationship, with your against your spouse. All right. What did you learn from that? Yes, you failed as far as commitment level. Yes, you failed as it relates to dedication, and that you double dipped. You went outside the confines of your relationship, and then you entertained, right? And let me tell you something. Every penetration is not always a sexual penetration. If he or she has the ability to penetrate your mind, penetrate your emotions, then and you are emotionally unfaithful, you are mentally unfaithful, and now you're coming back. Now you have to deal with that whole thing. Can we talk? The question, not did I fail, but did I learn? Did I learn from that experience? All right. Now, she may not want to get back with you. She may be one of those, you cheat on me, it's a wrap. He may say, you cheat on me, it's a wrap. But what did I learn from that experience? What brought me to that perspective? What led me to the point of cheating? Did I learn? What's the lesson of that? What's the lesson that I need to learn? Yeah, do not cheat. No, that's good, but what led me there? What caused me to go there? What made me feel that way? And cheating, and somebody need to write this down. Cheating is a choice. I don't care. And Dr. R. Vernon said it a few days ago. Cheating is a choice. Listen. Was it wrong? You felt wrong. Oh, he's not loving me the way he's supposed to love me. She's not loving me the way I want to be loved. You know what I'm saying? She know I love sex, but she ain't giving it to me. He know I love sex. He ain't giving it to me. So I went outside. Now, do I understand the reasoning of why you stepped out or you begin to entertain? Do I understand? Yes, but we must understand cheating is a choice. Okay, you feel me? It's a choice. You have to make that decision within yourself. You got to talk about that. Cheating is the choice. All right. When you went and sat at the table with somebody that you wasn't supposed to be sitting at the table with, and you knew that, watch this, and you knew they didn't know that you were together. They did because you didn't wear no marriage ring. You didn't put your ring on your finger. You went outside with the intentions and purpose of flirting with somebody else because you're trying to get back at your man or your woman that either cheated on you or did not give you what was necessary that you felt that could make your life conducive. So now that person has to take the time to start dealing with themselves and trying to figure out, what do I learn from this? What do I gain from this experience? What's the lesson behind this? Okay, what's the lesson behind this? I remember when we in the church world, there was a big scandal that went out here, and people was exposing people because they were sending pictures of themselves doing X, Y, and Z. And then you had people talking about, well, nobody has the right to expose. You're absolutely correct. But it's with any of us. If I don't have nothing out there, then can't nobody talk about it. Yeah, I know many people don't like Larry Reed. I know many people don't like William McRae. I know many people don't like King Jives, because these are floggers and whatnot, and they're gossip columnists in a way under the Christian umbrella, or you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if we as people would not do stuff, then there would be nothing for these people to talk about. You see what I'm saying? On the basis of, it wouldn't be no discussion. You know what I'm saying? But then you have people who have gone through experiences like those young men that I know of, and they went through that experience, right? And after going through the experience and the videos are out there, no, should they have done it? No, but what did you learn from that? If all I learned is be careful who I send my pictures to, be careful who I send my pictures to, and don't send my pictures of my naked self to other people. If that's all you learn from that, then that's a problem. Because in a learning situation, here it is, I failed because I allowed myself to venture into something. Because let me tell you something, if I don't put myself in a position where I'm learning, I personally feel that if you don't learn from your experience, you will find yourself back into that same experience again. You will find yourself maybe not in a wholesome way, because a lot of people feel, well, I didn't do nothing physically. I was just entertaining it emotionally. I was entertaining it mentally. But when you start entertaining people and things, and you begin to flirt with things that you have issues and challenges with, then you're making a choice to do it. And just because you have not physically activated or physically moved into an action of a thing does not necessarily mean it's okay. You see what I'm saying? So we got to understand the question, not did I fail, but did I learn? Okay. Did I learn? Did I learn from this experience? Did I learn that I was embarrassed because I didn't do X, Y, and Z? Everybody knows I failed. Everybody knows I did. Okay, but did I learn from it? Let me tell you something. People gonna remember you. People gonna remember you for your negative stuff. You could have done one thing negative and then hold that thing over your head for the rest of your life. But then you've done 25,000 things right, and you did that one thing wrong, and people will hold you hostage over that one thing that you did wrong. I'm saying it could be one thing. You murdered somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I gotta go extreme right here. You murdered somebody, you molested a child, and then all of that life. And then we start, because I feel this is me. I don't think every situation that a person goes through, they've had to experience it. Or they was doing stuff low key. Sometimes people get caught up, and they get caught up to the point. That's why you have second degree murder. The person didn't go there with the intention to kill somebody, but in the moment of passion, in the moment of the situation, in the moment, action took place, and it cost somebody their life. I don't think every situation is something that was developing or that it was brewing, which is why I'm irritated, bothered by people. You know what I'm saying? It irritates me. I'm bothered by people, that feel that if you talk about certain things, that's your issue. And if you talk about it too much, that's your issue. Now, that may be the case in some situations, but that's not the case in every situation. You can't say because this person keeps talking about drinking that they got a drinking problem. You can't say because this person is talking about gluttony that they got a gluttony problem. Maybe it's a situation that needs to be addressed and people are not talking about it. I hate when people say, oh, they're always talking about gay stuff. They're always talking about adultery. Oh, they must have an experience in it because they keep talking about it. Or they must have a fetish. That Gabrielle Union said that not too long ago, regarding Bootsy Collins and how she said Bootsy was not Bootsy Collins, but Bootsy was like, what she say about him? Hey, Melinda, what she say about him? She said, in some other words, he must have a fetish for other men's penises. Now to think about it, why? Because he has this thing about him, as it relates to that. But see, I got an issue with Bootsy because according to you, you let some females come in there, according to you, and perform some sexual activities, or as Larry Reed would say, some activities on your son, and they are minors. So don't be talking about a Dwayne Wade's child when you sitting up here allowing your child and say, well, at least it's with a female. That don't make it right either. What did you learn from that? What did you learn from that? Don't be so caught up in talking about somebody else's sexual wickedness or sexual quote unquote perversion, and then you turn around and you let your son watch this be turned out by somebody grown, and then try to justify it by saying at least it was a woman. That doesn't make sense. What did I learn from this? Take your moments, and this is why it's so important. My wife tried to tell stuff with people. People go, oh, you can't tell me not to have sex. You had sex. Well, okay, I'm telling you from my experience what you should not do. This is what I've learned. I'm dealing with a couple right now, and the question was asked. What's wrong with having sex before marriage? What's wrong with it? And what's wrong with it? And I said, I'm gonna give you the biblical perspective, but then I'm also give you something else. I'm gonna give you the biblical perspective, but I said sex is like fire. And what I mean by that is fire is harmful, and fire can be harmful, and fire can be harmless. All right. How can fire be harmless? Because in your house, right, you're cooking, it's a fire, right? It's harmless because watch, that fire is it's tamed, it's under a level of control. Your fireplace, right? Because you have the proper things around. You got your gate around that keeps, if the fire sparks out, you got stuff that's blocking it so they won't cause fire anywhere else. But a fire that is untamed, A fire that is untamed, like in the forest, it's going to destroy many things. I said, I believe when it comes to premarital, I believe there are things designed in our bodies that are not supposed to be ignited, not supposed to be kindled and not released unless it's within marriage. And I hold on to that because that's why I think it is. And so what happens is, what happens is the fire is untamed. And so now your fire is kindled and you didn't release this fire within you, right? And so now your body is wanting it more. But see, one of the issues is now one of the things I didn't have, which was because I didn't have, I was a virgin until I got married. So I didn't have the experience of, if you will, trying to compare a previous person to me. But here it is, neither was I concerned greatly about, am I going to be enough for my wife who didn't have my experience of being a virgin? See what I'm saying? And I'm not going to go into some things I don't talk about for my wife to talk about. But what my point being is my experience, right? My experience. So when you start doing that, then your fire is out. You can be in a married relationship and sex is fire, but if you take that fire and you kindle that fire with another fire that is not supposed to be, you're subject to get caught up in something. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So my point of saying all that is, what did you learn from that experience? What did I learn from that? What did I learn? What have I gained from that particular experience? Yeah, I failed. Yeah, I screwed up. Yeah, everybody know about it, but what did I learn? Because many people will throw stuff in your face forever. They'll throw all kind of stuff in your face, and they'll forever throw it in your face, and they forever try to, make you feel, oh, I remember when. Okay, thank you for remembering when. All right, but you as an individual got to say to yourself, but what did I learn from that? Bishop Jeremy Macklin said on Sunday, the question is not, did I fail, but did I learn? Because I can learn from my mistakes. I can learn from that. Learn not to repeat this. Learn that if I got a test and I know the test is coming in 3 weeks, I don't need to be studying the week of. I need to be studying beforehand. If I know that I got weaknesses in certain subject matters and I failed before, the lesson is, don't wait till the last minute to try to put all kind of work together. That's the lesson that I've learned. The question is not, did I fail, but did I learn? What did I learn from this? Okay? What did I learn from this? What did I learn? What am I learning from this? What can you learn from somebody else's failure besides not to do that? What can you learn? Normally I'm trying to do the Can We Talk with scriptures and stuff, but I'm just thinking about what I just talked about not too long ago, about if a brother be overtaken in fault, you with your spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering yourself. Consider yourself, lest you also be tempted. It's almost like, it can happen to me. That's the mindset. It can happen to me. So what do I need to do to set boundaries so I won't find myself in situations? You go to a party. They're going to be drinking. You know from somebody else's mistake. Don't drink. When you put your cup down, go get another cup. You learn from somebody's experience that something was put in it and now they're hospitalized or they lost their mind that night and they recuperated and they don't remember the stuff that they did because somebody spiked it because they didn't know it was there. They were just spiking punches because you left it there. So you learn that if I'm going to a party where they drinking and if I forget where I put my drink, go get a whole new cup. You learn from these type of experience. You learn from other people. I'm a firm believer. You don't have to go through everybody else's. You don't have to experience what somebody else experienced. Learn from it. Oh, they did that? I'm doing my best. Okay, and what led you to that? Ask people, if they're straightforward about it, ask people, why did you do that? What caused you to fall into that trap? What caused you to fall into that trap? What made you do that? What made you say that? What made you step out of your normalcy, your character? What provoked you? What initiated that? Like what really happened? Like what did you do? What caused that? And learn from that. What did I learn? What did I learn from somebody else growing up? What did I learn from that? Besides, I ain't gonna do that. Because I don't think a lot of people make decisions all the time. I don't think a lot of people say, well, I'm going to go in here and screw up. I'm going to go in here and be a married person. I'm going to flirt with this single woman. I'm going to go in here and, I'm a married woman. I'm going to flirt with this, this single boy. I'm going to go in here and, I'm a single person and I'm going to go over here and mess with this prostitute. What's going on? What's leading me there? What's taking me there? Because I have to make a choice. And in the choice, there's a choice to make a choice. Let me say that again. I said in a choice, there is a choice to make a choice. Ooh, somebody write that down. That's straight from the Mind of Loughridge right there. In a choice, there is a choice to make that choice. Ooh, that's good stuff right there, Loughridge. In a choice, there is a choice to make that choice. Do y'all get what I'm saying? That's good. Lord, let me keep that in my mind. All right, the Mind of Loughridge. That's straight for me. I didn't get that from T.D. Jakes, Noel Jones. I didn't get that, from Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. I didn't get that from R.A. Vernon. I didn't get that from Albert Einstein. In a choice, there is a choice to make that choice. We all have that. So in the choice, there's a choice to make that choice. So even I'm contemplating getting ready to make a decision to do something. In that decision, in that choice, in that process that I'm going through to make that choice, let's vice versa. If I choose not to make that choice in the choice, that was a choice I was in. Because if you think about it, in a choice, there is a choice to make that choice. Each time there's a choice. In the introductory of when it comes to me, there's a choice. In the middle of it, there's a choice. And the conclusion of it is the choice that I made. Had there not been an introductory, there would never been a body. And had there not been a body, then there would have been a conclusion. So I have the responsibility, here it is, in a choice to make that choice. But there's a middle ground that leads me to where I need to go. And I'm responsible to make sure that I make that choice correctly. So in a choice, there's a choice to make that choice. So I'm deciding to do this, whether the outcome is good or whether the outcome is wrong, whether the outcome is healthy or whether the outcome is illness. You see what I'm saying? It's not whether it's rational or irrational. In a choice, there is a choice to make that choice. Are y'all catching what I'm saying? I got to make that in a choice. I got to make that choice. What am I getting ready to do? All right. In the choice, there's a choice. In the choice, there's a choice. In the apple, there's a seed. And in the seed, there's an apple. Did you catch that? In an apple, there's a seed. And in the seed, there's an apple. In a choice, okay, so the first thing is the apple is the choice to make the choice. So in other words, where there's an apple, there's a seed, but in that seed, there's an apple. So an apple that has a seed, that seed cannot produce, here it is, that seed cannot produce apricot if it's not an apricot seed. So in a choice, there's a choice to make that choice. In an apple, there's a seed, and in that seed, there's an apple. But there's no other seed that can be in that apple, because the only thing that that apple is going to produce is what's in the seed. Are y'all hearing me? So in the choice, there's a choice to make that choice. Unless we're out of our mind, unless we're crazy, there is a choice to make that choice. In a choice, okay, do I want to do this or not? I think I might do it. Because a lot of times, what we contemplate, we participate. Woo! That's good too. A lot of times, what we contemplate is what we participate. Contemplation produces participation. Oh, that's another good nugget right there. The Mind of Loughridge. Come on, take the nugget. In contemplation, there is participation. In contemplation, there is participation. If I contemplate about it. Wait, let me go here. I want to add something else before I go there. If I'm contemplating it, that means I'm thinking about it. And in your contemplation, there is comprehension. And in that comprehension of what you're contemplating determines your participation. So if I want to do C's, contemplation, comprehension, and instead of saying participation, here it is. What I contemplate is determined by my comprehension of what I contemplated. That determines my conclusion. My conclusion is what I comprehended, and what I comprehended is what I contemplated on. So either, watch this, your contemplation is going to bring about comprehension of it. So when there's contemplation plus comprehension, it brings a conclusion. But the conclusion based upon your contemplation and your comprehension determines if the conclusion is conflict or comfort. That's good. I know the Bible said, let a man praise your word, but that's good right there. All right. So in a choice, there's a choice to make that choice. And so that's all I want us to understand is that I have to learn from it. What's the conclusion? Is it producing comfort? Is it producing conflict? And if it produces comfort, how do I keep the comfort, here another C, in continuity? Because there's some things that don't need to have a sequel. There's some things that don't need to have a series. Whew, this is good. There's something they don't need to have a series. They don't need to be a to be continued. It needs to end. Okay? So what did I learn from it? What did I gain from it? And if I contemplate about it, I comprehend what I'm contemplating and I understand the ramifications of what this could cause and everything else. Okay? Any questions? If you have a question, write in the comment section, question mark, and then I'll say, hey, let's say, for example, Lady Barbara Pritchett Hughes says she has a question. She'll put in the comment section a question mark. I'll see the question mark and say, hey, go ahead, Lady Barbara Hughes, go and ask your question. Because I know in social media there are delays. Okay? Go ahead and try to preach it, Kylan. Go on and preach it. And the choice, there's the choice to make that choice. All right. Any questions? I'm going to wait and see. Okay. Doesn't look like, looking over on Instagram, Doesn't look like I'm getting any questions. All right, so I'm going to stop right here then. Um, I'm going to stop right here. Since no one has any questions for me, I'm going to stop right here. All right, thank you so much. I hope I've said something to let us know. Just learn from your experiences. You know, Hebrews says that though he were a son, talking about Jesus, he learned obedience from the things he suffered. He learned submission in suffering. There are things you can learn. The question not did I fail, but did I learn? You're not going to always get it right, but what did you learn from that experience? Okay. Thank you so much for everybody that's joined me tonight on Can We Talk. If you want to donate anything to the Mind of Loughridge, you're always welcome to do so. You're always welcome to do so. Always welcome to do so. My cash app is $DAL71. DAL71. Dwayne Andre Loughridge. All what those letters indicate. 71 is the year I was born. All right. Or Zelle. All right. Or you can do Zelle. All right. That's dloft71@gmail.com. I also have PayPal. All right. I also have PayPal. And you can do it that way. All right. That's it for me this evening. Please remember, those of you that the prayers of the righteous avail much. Please remember to keep, and I'm gonna go back and look or on this wall to see any update on James Allen's son DeAndre. But just keep that young man in prayer. Let's continue to keep my father, thank you, in prayer as well as keep my girl Cammie and Tim and that whole family of the Dobbins family in your prayers. Keep the Nash family in prayer in preparation for the homegoing celebration of Pastor Michael Nash as a Saturday testimony at 10 a.m. All right. I'm going to send you the information in a few moments, Kylan, when I get off. As I said. All right. This is Can We Talk? Can we talk for a minute? All right. I'm going. Y'all have a good night. I'm out. I believe God.